Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Twice as Nice. A couple of things before we take a look at the actual puzzle. First off, thank you very much for all the well wishes. Nini is indeed doing well. I think 7-8 weeks since she went blind, and like I said, she's adapting quite well. And yeah, day by day we're getting used to it as well, particularly as she gets to improve. Main thing is about just navigation, being excited about life again. I think all of that is definitely in place. Maybe not vertical navigation, steps challenging, bed and its height is challenging, but minor things in the grand scheme of things. Moving on, I think one more thing to address before we take a look at the puzzle. Quite a few of you just commented about weight, health. Worthwhile addressing that. So most of the weight loss is very much deliberate. Some of it was just stress of the last few months. But yeah, for the past 2 years, I've essentially been on a 1 meal a day diet by design. So good news is I get to enjoy whatever I want to eat, and good news is that essentially I get to manage my weight. I think if you take a look at some of my much older videos versus now, you'll understand why I had to go down that route. And then obviously, because when you do something like that, you do lose a lot of weight, including muscle. It's been a year of regular exercise and strength training once again. But thank you for your concerns, all well. And that's enough of an introduction. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with... Actually, can I even... Sorry about that. I clearly am rusty when it at least comes to recording. Hopefully, I won't also be rusty when it comes to playing. But let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Twice as Nice by NotVeryNeat. So, to ease myself back into puzzles, this is a 1-star difficulty rated one. It is 94% rating as of the time of recording. Anything else to mention? No. The previous puzzle that you guys mentioned, I did actually play a few more puzzles, and I am less rusty, but I am definitely still rusty. So no idea how well I'm going to do here, but hopefully we all get to enjoy it. Rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Usual story, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box, of course. Arrows, digits along an arrow sum to the number in the attached circle. And Kropki dots, digits separated by a black dot, are in a 1 to 2 ratio, and not all dots are necessarily given, so no negative constraints. Let's give this one a go. So arrows, if this cell was 2 and this one was 1, this would have to be a 3. Although the Kropki dot rule means that these two would have to be in a 1 to 2 ratio, which is clearly not. 3 is not. We could try something more like that, and that would be a valid set of arrows and Kropki dots. Nothing stops me from doing a 2 here, where it's clearly in a 2 to 1 ratio without a black dot. No negative constraints after all. That's all the rules. As always, to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. And column 4 gets my attention because it's got 5 black Kropki dots cells in the same column. So if you think about black Kropki dots, we've got the powers of 2, 1, 2, 4, and 8. Each one is 2 times the previous one. And of course, we've also got 3 and 6. 5, 7, and 9 do not count. Now, with the addition, you see the circles can even be a 2. So, nothing stops me from having that. So, not particularly helpful in terms of constraint. But we know that the smaller cell, and this is the bigger cell. So, I know that this is 1, 2, or 4. I know that this is 2, 4, 3, 6, or 8. Of course, I can also have 3 and 6. So, not as much of a constraint as I was thinking, but let's just see what it's leading us towards. And presumably that's also limited to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Can't be 6 or 8 with this being the higher digit. 5, 7, and 9 are in these cells. Actually, sorry, box 5. What am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells. So that is 5, 7, 9. We also know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are from 2, 3, 4, 8. And a 6, isn't it? I keep missing the 6 for some reason. There. Interesting. So the 6 is interesting, excuse me, because essentially every single one of these circles you can see is attached to 2 digits. And it forces it to have a double 3, because with the black Kropki dot, 6 would be here, this would have to be a 3, and then there will be another 3. So in a way, it kind of limits us on which of these could be 3. Sorry, could be 6, surely. Double 3, double 3, double 3, double 3. Not really. And double 3. Huh. I mean, these cells could be huge. Can they? No. Even if this is 8, this is 4, this is 4. So interestingly, am I just missing something that is extremely obvious? I think I am. This is 2, that's 1 and 1. This is 3. Can't be 3. Can't be 3. I don't know why I did that. Can't be 3. So when it says twice as nice, it's because it's always double, because there are always 2 cells that add up to that. Right. Wakey, wakey, sleuth. So in essence, what we're saying is, sorry, it took me a while. They're always double. You see, blue, green, and purple, they all see one another. This cell, however, doesn't see blue, so this could actually be blue. And this could actually be purple, so I'm not going to color it just yet. But because these cells are different, I know that these two have to be different, so I am going to color it differently. And we have that much info now. And then obviously, because we can only be from 1, 2, 3, or 4, this cell is not green, blue, and obviously it has to be the same color here, or yellow. So this cell is purple. Right. I'm awake now, he says. And you can't make the assumption that these two are the same, because, for example, if this is a 2, like a double 2, and this ends up being a 4, this could be a 1. So can't make the assumption that this would be naturally the same color. Right. This one is again part of the same groupings. And this cell is not purple, it's not blue, it's not yellow, has to be green. Am I going to color these as well? I'm kind of half tempted to. I think I should actually. So double of green, I don't know. Orange, double of blue. Let's call it red. Double of purple, we'll call it gray. Gray. And double of yellow is black. What did I do? Double of green? Orange. Is that helping me at all? Other than forcing purple up here. Green in there, blue in there. I'm not sure it is. So I'm going to leave it for a second. Same thing that I said earlier about the 2s, you know, that doesn't have to be gray. So I'm constantly getting warnings about my camera in the background. So I'm a little bit distracted, but let me just focus for a second. I mean, let's think about column 5, given we need all the colors that we've already placed. So what am I missing in here? I need blue, which is clearly not there, and it's not 5, 7, or 9, so that's blue, which puts me in a very odd position in that blue is in here. A helpful position because it could only be 1, 2, 4, 8. Yes, let's come back to that. And then I need yellow in the column, and it's not 5, 7, or 9. Sorry, I'm gonna let me finish this thought for a second. Blue could absolutely be gray or black. I cannot, in fact, blue absolutely is gray or black because it's clearly not in the column and it's not 5, 7, or 9. And it's not purple, which is in the same cell. Yep. So it is one of these two cells. So that doesn't mean that this cell is blue. It could be this cell. It's definitely not that one. And it's not orange. And it's not green. Right, so blue is in one of these two cells, including this cell. So it could absolutely be gray, as we just said. Right. Let's play the same trick with some of the other cells if we can. Can we? I mean, purple is placed. Green is placed. Yellow is the only one that's missing, but like it's tricky. So in the column, I need yellow and black, meaning this cell is yellow or black, and essentially, well, definitely not that one. Well, yellow could be gray again, but it's not black. Interesting. Where am I going with this? These four are definitely all different because these four are all definitely different. They're in the same box. We've done that deduction earlier. Okay, let's talk about red for a second. Could yellow and red be the same? You see, red is going to have to be in one of these cells. We know it's not gray. And we know it's not black. And we know it's not orange. So red could absolutely be yellow. We should try and ask the question differently. Yellow has to be in box 5. And it's not 5, 7, or 9. And it sees, and we've already gone through this deduction before, it sees green. And because the double of yellow has to be different from the double of blue, purple, and green. So none of these are yellow. I'm going to say gray is yellow. Has to be. Yeah, I'm going to lose the other color, and therefore this is just lose the yellow here, lose the gray there, call it yellow, don't call it blue. Double of purple is now yellow. Remember, it's 1, 2, 4, 8, so we should be able to identify a chain of 1, 2, 3. There should be a fourth one now that is part of this chain of 1, 2, 4, 8. And then a 3, 6 pair. Blue's not here. Blue's not yellow because of the reasons we said earlier. So this has to be blue now. Red is none of these, is it? Well, red could still... No, yellow I've just placed here. That's the mistake I've made. Nothing stopped me. I picked yellow as grey. Yeah, I'm going to have to undo this. Sorry. Right. Clear the deck for a second. Yellow has to be in the box because the double of yellow is different from the double of purple, red, and orange. Yellow must be different from green, blue, and purple. Clearly, yellow is not black. And it's not 5, 7, or 9. So yellow is actually one of these three cells. It doesn't have to be grey. That's disappointing. I was definitely onto something here, but I just jumped a bit too far ahead. I'm wondering if I should just focus on normal Sudoku for a second. The answer is almost always yes. Before I try and solve all of these challenges. Right, let's try this differently. With the exception of one of these four. And I do emphasize with the exception of one of these four. Where am I going with this? So these are 1, 2, 3s, or 4s. This 4. Meaning that with the exception of the one that's a 1 and the one that is a 3, the 2s and the 4s appears in the larger circle. And obviously the green and the purple, because they're in the same box, can't be in these larger circles, so they have to be 1 and 3. And yellow and blue have to be 2 and 4. Now this is something. And that's something because it immediately starts to limit the options that these could be as such. So now I know that this chain of 1, 2, 4, 8 I was referring to, yellow has to be in one of these 3 cells. And blue has to be in one of these 2 cells. And obviously it depends on which one is larger. So this 1, 3 is 2 or 6, helpful. 2, 6, 1, 3. And then I'm missing a blue 2, 4, which again we said could be grey. It's not here. So that deduction earlier was fine. And yellow, yeah, still could be grey. But remember, we also need black. So in the column, we need blue, yellow, black, and red. Yeah, I'm not going to reuse these colors for a second. Don't think I'm going to be able to see it, really. Now, how do we determine what some of these things are? 2 and 6. Now, That can't be 2 because that would be a double 1. So that is 6, 3, 3, 6. Finally, some digits. I have no idea how long I've been recording. 20 minutes. Includes an intro. And now this is confirmed. We've actually got some digits. And I also know that grey cannot possibly be, 2 gives me 4, gives me 8, tells me this is now 4, and therefore this is blue. And therefore yellow is 2. And that 1 gives me a 4. And I think we've got it from here. That's a phenomenal puzzle. Not very neat. That's exceptionally neat. And let's take it away from here. With a 4, it means that one of these is 3, 6. One of them is going to be 2, 1, 2. This is not the 3, 6. This is the 1, 2. This is the 3, 6. Obviously, because 4 and 8 are not available with the 4 already placed. What a phenomenal puzzle, he says confidently, as if obviously the 2 can't be on here. It'll require a double 1. Don't know why I didn't see that earlier. That's the 2, the 1. Am I going to keep coloring? Yes, I am. Absolutely. Threes is down here. 3 and 4 can absolutely both be on this side of the circle, so not helpful. 2 and 4 placed means this is a 3, 6 pair. And obviously the 3, 6 and the 3, 6 tells us that as well. No 1s. The 1 is in here. Without a 2, 3, 4, 5 won't work because the 6 is placed. So this is at least 1, 7, or 8, and this is 8 or 9. No 2s in any of these. Not brilliant. 2, not brilliant either. Doesn't feel like there's enough info to help us. I mean, we're done with all the black Kropki dots, so really we should be focusing on the circles. And obviously a bit of classic Sudoku to help us get there. Like a 4 here. We're still quite far away, surprisingly. 1. Too many options. Three's on here. Can I really have 3 on the circle with 2 and 1? No. So that's a 3. Forces a 3 in here. 3 is lining up in columns 8 and 9. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's at least a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning that's a 9. No further. No 6s. 6. 7, 8 pair. Should be able to finish the row. 5 and 7. We can't finish the row. We know what this is. Yes, we do. So in here, I can't have 5 and 7. What am I doing? 5 and 9. So these cells include a 5 and 8 is 5, 7, 8. Meaning that is definitely a 9. That is definitely a 5. That is whatever is left of 6. And this looks like just straight up 7, 8, 9. Can I clean this up a bit? Yes, this is not 5 or 7. That's an 8. Looking good. Because, this could still be as low as, well, it's not 1. Because that's not 4. 2 and 5, yeah. 4 and 7. 5 and 8. And that's it. Still too many options. It's all right. Let's just move on. 4 in here. Can't be there, because that would be a 1-3 pair. And 3s are not, it's already placed. So that's not a 4. There you go. That's a 4. 4 is in one of these two cells. One of these two cells. Where am I going next? So in the column, I need 5, 7, 8, and 9. And so far, only place that 9 can be is in one of these two. Still too many options again. 1, 7, 8. So in here, I need a 5 for sure. Feels very messy. I haven't used, come on, 6. This is either 2, 4 or 1, 5. Is 2, 4 even achievable? No. Double 2. So that's just a straight up 1, 5. That's the 1, that's the 5. That forces the 4 in here, the 2 in there. That's not a 5. In fact, that's just a 7. Not a 7. Not a 1 is a 1. And suddenly a bit of progress again. Right, any more circles that I've not used? This one. So in the column, let's just, can't have a 2 in here, that's fine. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. This is a 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is already a 5 at a minimum. I'm already thinking this has to be a 2, given that 3 and 4. I mean, yeah, given this is at least a 5. It's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this cell is not 1, 3, or 4. Anything else, like a 6, would just break. So that's got to be a 2. And 6 and 7 are not an option. So that has to be a 5. That is a 9. That's not a 2. That is a 2. Not a 9. Another 7, 8 pair. 8, 9 pair. 7, 8. Yeah. So that gives me a 1, 7, 8 triple. And therefore a 5 is placed in here. 7, 8, 9, isn't it? I need another 5 and a 7, 8, 9. Not helpful. I need an 8, 9, and a 7. Still not helpful. Moving on. 6, 8, 9. That 6 gave me numbers a while ago. Back to that circle. 7. Don't know why I decided not to pursue that one. We won't mention it. Well, I say we won't mention it. You won't mention it. 1, 8 pair. So in this, we need 5, 8, 9, and a 4. And the 4 is already placed. This is any of them still, 5, 8, 9. This is not 5 or 7, that's a 9. That's a 5, a 7. Not a 5. Just an 8 and 9. Not 8. Could still be 1 or 7. No, it isn't. 7, 1, 1, 8, 9. I think we're done. 8. What have I got left? 5 and 6. You know, the clue was very much in the name around this being twice as nice, and it certainly wasn't using all the clues that was given. What do I need here? 5, 7, and 8. 8, surely I can place. 8 is up here. 5, 7, 5, 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, 9 for the finish. And I've clearly made a mistake. Hang on. Oops. This is going to cost me. Dear oh dear. There we go. Hasn't actually cost me anywhere near as much as I thought. Phenomenal puzzle. Didn't require 27 minutes to solve. But what a phenomenal puzzle. I think once you realize the whole doubling thing, most of it is straightforward from there. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle. See you back for the next video. Bye bye for now.